Okay, we are going to be doing a general reading. If your past and your present resonates with you, then this is your reading. And if not, that's okay. We can go ahead and look for my old videos, or you can find a new one. Find a new one within the next days. Anyway, sorry, I've been a goofball today. We will be doing your past, your present, your future, your mental environment, external environment, and your advice and likely outcome. Okay, do these two here. Very interesting stuff, guys. Okay. We have that likely outcome. Interesting. So we're going to do a kind of a spin on all of this. So this is one of those readings that doesn't look great from the start. But when we tap into those messages, because everything that, by the law of duality, everything that has any amount of negative energy has the exact same amount of positive energy as well. That is my personal belief. It's all about how you look at it, your opportunities, your blessings in disguise type of thing. So especially if you're in the vibe of things are not going well, or maybe things are going downhill, that is okay. This is one of those things of letting the tower fall and seeing what's left that is truly there for you, that is truly standing. And it may not be exactly what you thought that you wanted. It's one of those what you thought you didn't know that you needed is kind of what I'm getting here. For your past, we have the Four of Wands. Very happiness, okay, very, very much so. Happy families, events, feeling welcome, teamwork, and success. For your present, we do have the Ace of Cups in reverse. I'm getting a lot of sadness at the moment. It's possible there was some form of death, breakup, a loss of some kind, and it's really got you kind of down in the dumps. It could be anything on a grand scale, such as like what I said, a loss or breakup of some kind, or even things that seem smaller, but it makes that kind of an impact. All of it is just as important. Repressed emotions, unrequited love. Let's see. For your future, we do have the Seven of Swords. Also not one of those very fun cards. Deceit, lies, trickery, cheating, theft. Maybe you found out that somebody that you thought you could trust isn't trustworthy. Maybe you found an opportunity, all that glitters ain't gold kind of a thing, and I can't shake this super sad feeling. And I don't want to be discouraging in any way, shape, or form. Your future is your future. It's something that, when you get the future cards, it's just, what do you want to know about? Your future has good things in it too. And this is going to be something that is going to make another impact. And like I said, it's not pleasant, but we're going to roll with the punches here, and we're going to find all of our opportunities, see what we can do despite the pain. For your internal mental mindset, or your mental perspective on what's going on, how you're handling these changes, we have the Lovers in reverse and the Moon. Disharmony, trust issues, imbalance, conflict, disconnection. That kind of goes back to that Ace of Cup right there. And with the Moon, we have illusion, dreams, instability, fear, anxiety, subconscious insecurity. I feel what I'm feeling right now is this is some kind of a trigger to any type of trauma, or a type of trauma in any degree that is kind of being pulled out and into your present at the moment. This is one of those opportunities in disguises. If that is where your mind stopped, with the inability to process the emotions or thoughts in a way that allows you to relax and feel free, makes you feel kind of tense, and makes you feel kind of closed off. This is one of those moments where you're having to, or currently expressing your mind and your body, where it's working together to simply continue where it left off in a somewhat relative event. So that somewhat relative event is the trigger, if that makes sense. Triggering this past event, something that happened now, reminds you of way back when, even subconsciously. And that's why I feel like it's very subconscious. You may not be able to make the connection per se, but you will be able to take this opportunity and this specific event to be able to handle this in a new and a different way that allows you to heal and actually move on from that altogether. You'll be able to grow from it and mature from it. So this isn't a scary thing. It's just an opportunity, like I said, to learn from something that hasn't been growing. So this is the Page of Pentacles, and this is the Seven of Pentacles, something that's been happening for a very long time, but it usually something that you've been working on for a very long time. And basically what I'm getting is it's not sitting idle, but it's been in somewhat of like a deep sleep. It's been on the back burner. Like I said, subconscious things we're talking about here. It's something that you have. I see the word investment. Like I said, the opportunity to learn, the opportunity to grow something that hasn't been able to move forward for a very long time, being able to get that release, being able to start getting fruits from it. Okay? For your advice, we have the Six of Wands in reverse, and we have the Nine of Wands in reverse. Some keywords: failure, losing, disadvantage, ill will, being hunted, refusing to compromise or give in, stubborn, rigid, obstinate, last one standing. So I'm getting very competitive vibes here. It feels like these may be certain qualities that emerged due to this kind of a stuck trauma, this inability to process certain emotions for that and or this situation as well. And these will be kind of key notes in helping you recognize what you can focus on to help yourself become a different person, or a person who handles these things in a different way. I'm hearing the words sore loser, so that might mean something to you. I know that means something to me. I've for a long time kind of grew up with that poor competitive spirit, the sore loser. A lot of what that stemmed from was being afraid of not being good enough. If I wasn't the best, then I didn't make the cut, kind of a thing. And I couldn't stand the idea of me not being perfect the first go round. It was a very all or nothing thing that really led me to be so hard on myself, but also became hard on others as well. Like, refusing to compromise. No, it's got to be this way. You know, it's got to be good. It's got to be better than good. It has to be great, above and beyond, 110% all the time. And it's not 110% of what you gave. It's 110% of a grade, where it's got to be like even more than what somebody expected. Very, very unrealistic expectations I can see. It's like, let's say you're a soldier coming home from war, but it's not good enough that you came back because you lost the battle. You lost the battle and now you're scorned for it. This can put somebody in a very sour mood, to say the least. It's like, it's not even enough that you came back alive. Like, as if that doesn't matter because you didn't win, per se. Now, these are very hurtful times to go through when struggling with this, I would say. I'm trying to pick apart what would be the advice out of this, because there's a lot of energy coming out. It's just so obvious. Anything that feels like trauma or bad luck or sad times, and it's just abundant, absolutely abundant, with things that you do really just don't want. It's not an ideal lifestyle, but it seems to be the lifestyle experienced. You know what I mean? Like the American dream. Growing up, I always felt like people in other countries must think Americans have everything. And I can see why they think that. I've had to learn how to be grateful, because I do have a significant amount of opportunities and resources and materials and things that I can do with what this country has to offer, and it's absolutely amazing. But as for somebody who grew up in a household where there was yelling, and, you know, where I was constantly scared of getting in trouble, because that meant just this agonizing mental torture that we were taught to even place on ourselves so that we would be better. It really put my mind through the ringer, and it made doing all these great and amazing things that we have to offer in America is so difficult. Like shopping was difficult because I didn't have a style. I didn't know my style. There was pressure to have a style and make sure that it was good. There was pressure of, well, you can't afford that, or you shouldn't afford that, or you can afford it but you should buy something else. You know, just like all kinds of like guilt, like completely soiling the opportunity to look good and feel good or have fun or anything like that. Or friends, people buy things for me, but I felt like I couldn't afford things for them, and it made me feel guilty. I should buy things for others, or I should not accept any gifts because I can't return the favor. Just that kind of bleeding through in my every decision, this kind of darkness, you know, just the tainted mind, and like, you know, and it's like infected with negative emotions, like depression. That'll get you everywhere. Like roots, like he was trying to grow something fruitful, and instead all that grew was weeds, and now he can't even kill the weeds. There's like so many, and they're so tough, and they're just everywhere, and it makes it so that he can't even have what he wants. Like, let's say, I just want to play pretend really quick. Let's say he likes these pentacles, of course, but they're supposed to be about 3 times as big. They're supposed to look good, taste good, work well, but they're small and they're brittle. Let's imagine they're supposed to have full black stars, but all these stars are hollow and he can't use them. So as much as, we have stores everywhere and I technically have money, the fact that I can't even bring myself to go out and just have fun every once in a while or treat myself is like having something that I can't even use. If, hopefully those examples will help you be able to apply that to your own life, because your own life is so utterly and completely unique. And this is just, I call them backwards readings. It's probably because I've been through so much myself, but it's not just me out there who's been through so much stuff. There's so many people out here who don't get the fairy tale readings. And I don't want to be one of those readers who have these wild CIA stories. I mean, they can be entertaining from time to time. Sometimes I'll put one on. It's just like, listening to a movie like, oh, they did what? The FBI is, I don't know, just drama, you know what I mean? Or like crazy aliens, and, I'm sure there's some truths with like all these wild theories out here. But for me, sometimes just life is, well, that's here. It's what I face. It's what, people who don't live spiritual lives go through this. And I don't see readings where they're digging so deep into people who are just straight up depressed. It's like, it's not that you want to die, but it's just that you struggle. And what do you do with that? Because there's only so many times that people can just be like, it's okay and you'll get better. And what if you're working on your health? What if you're working on your depression or your anger issues or your substance abuse issues? What if you're being clean for a decade, but you're still depressed after a decade, and everybody around you just goes, I don't know how to help you. You know what I mean? This is the life of somebody suffering through decency, I guess, where it's not bad enough to be bad, and it's certainly not good enough to be great, but you're still alive and you still exist and your heart is beating, and there is an inner you waiting to be seen through all these weeds, to be seen through the darkness. I'm saying these things because you'll know if you resonate. At this point, if you feel this strongly, you'll know this reading is for you. And I just want to say that you are being seen. The only reason that these cards are coming up and that this is resonating for you is the fact that you're deep in this type of mental darkness here. The Lovers is one of the prettiest, most interesting cards, I feel like. There's an angel, there's a sun, there's Adam and Eve, it looks like, and there's fire, and it's very in depth. It's about making decisions. It's about learning what do you choose in life, and it's almost like you lost the option, the ability to do that. It's almost like when depression and confusion gets beyond fog. It's not just like, oh, you're in a fog. You're in some kind of hypnotic daze as you go throughout life, on like severe autopilot with the ability to tweak it here and there so you continue to get by. Like, this is somebody who is in the limbo doesn't, like what I said before, it's not bad enough to be bad for people to want to step in and help out. You can go to work, you can pay your bills, you can clean your house up enough. You're not throwing out red flags. It's just your feelings that are hurt. And what are people going to do about it? A lot of people turn the blind eye. They don't know what to do. They don't know how. That's, you're literally your own personal problem to solve. And you probably understand that as well, and don't blame anybody for not, wanting to step in and do this or that. It's possible that even if they tried, you wouldn't know how to accept that help. You know what I mean? This is part of why I really like your future card. This right here really solidified to me this kind of hope that we're seeing over the heartbreak. Hope over the heartbreak. So it's like, straight up, that's a stick. You don't pick up a stick and go, this is life. You know what I mean? It's been severed from the tree on the ground. Yet somebody is picking it up and is sprouting leaves. That to me says hope. New beginnings, good news, creative spark, finding a new passion. And you know what? Even this heartbreak card, I don't even say the Three of Swords. I'm just like, it's the heartbreak card, being tore up. Like, it's raining, stormy. I mean, it's a pretty heart. It's cute, it's soft, it's bright, it's vibrant, and just the worst fucking thing possible happened to it. Not just once. There are 3 swords running straight through that heart in different ways. You've been hurt a lot by a lot of things, by a lot of people, by yourself. You've been hurt just the sake of seeing something so beautiful go through so much pain is what makes that card such a tragedy. That's what makes that card have such a strong energy. And I could see that. But I see this too. This is the card that showed up first. This is the hope. And I wanted a clarifier. And we got the heartbreak card. It's hope despite the heartbreak. There's an idea out there for you that it doesn't have to be so stuck in the middle, because that's not average. You're stuck in the middle, alright. There's no rock, there's no hard place. You're just off into space with nothing and nobody. And that's what feels so hopeless, because there's not a thing around. There's not a soul to be seen. Is there a way back? Is there even a way forward? Like you're a little astronaut there trying to like wave your arms, build some kind of a momentum, and you're exhausted and hungry and kind of scared. But it is what it is. You're out there. You've been out there. You're floating through life. You could be 12, 20, 40, 40. I'm getting 46, 42 for someone out there, 32, 96. You're here. You're in this world. You're looking around. Where's the purpose? Where's your drive? Wasn't there once upon a time you had dreams? Even if someone else sparked it. Well, everybody knows what they want to be when you grow up. What do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, to me, I was like, do I have to think about that? I said, I don't know. I just said something girly. Ballerina. I didn't care about being a ballerina. Because then I said firefighter, and then I said teacher, and then I said police officer, and, like singer, cook, chef. I struggled with that question my entire life because I didn't need to be asked that. I didn't need to find out. That's one of the things I'm learning now, like sitting here just asking myself, how do I know what I want? How do you know what you want? You're just trying to get by. You know what I mean? And I feel like this is far from the end, and it's certainly not the beginning. The advice here is helping uncover a layer. Just this one. Refusing to compromise or give in, stubborn, rigid, obstinate. This is how you're reacting to other people or to other situations. And you'll have to use your intuition because you've put up these boundaries for reasons. You have reasons. If you struggle with these things, you have reasons why they're there. They have protected you. They have served you. It is about more finding balance. You may find you drop, let's say, rigid. You may drop rigid, but you do not drop the last one standing. You learn to honor the side of yourself that is competitive. You earn self-respect for that. But you learn to do it in a way that it's not always about you being the last one standing, or that you have to knock out all the other players, that you have to be better. It's just about, maybe you find that you being the last one standing, but maybe going and picking others back up. You know what I mean? This is about uncovering layers in yourself. This is more of a subconscious one. Failure, losing, disadvantage, disgrace, being hunted, ill will. I'm getting fear of failure and losing and disgrace. Being taken advantage of, and for some of you, feeling like if you're around, it puts others at a disadvantage. That is a invalid thought process because it is simply ineffective to the reality of others. If you are I hear put as a disadvantage to others, not well balanced. Basically what I'm getting is, like, for example, when I was a CNA, I liked the job, I liked helping, but I had a hard time getting along with other people, or sometimes with my bosses and coworkers. The job itself was very taxing on me emotionally and physically, and over time that would cause me to become a disadvantage to the service, to the work I was in. I wasn't able to use myself to my full potential, and I suffered for it. So it's not that you fear these things because it's illogical. It's just that if you understand what the fears are and learn how to put balance, or put your logic and your reason into turning a disadvantage into an advantage. So I was super stressed out. I finally decided I don't know what job that I want yet, but I just want something where the labor itself is simple. And I had to bank on that because I still wasn't fully sure of myself if that was a good enough decision or not. But say I took a cashier job. The work truly was a lot more simple, But I just so happened to find somewhere where the work was more simple, the breaks were assured, my coworkers are friendly, my management team is absolutely astounding. They work with you and help you out all the time. I can always ask a question and it'll be answered. I've been so grateful for that, and it helped me understand a little bit better on how to put things into balance, because my disadvantage was I can work hard, but by taxing my body physically was wearing me out too much. So ease up on the labor. It's not that I'm not smart, but I want to also, like, I have a lot of things to think about. I can't just constantly use up all my mental energy analyzing and working so hard. Like, as a CNA, when I adjust my residents and worked with them and for them, I would be constantly analyzing so much, down to the very person, each unique person, what they needed, how they needed to be treated, how to put their clothes on so that they still felt independent enough, how to do it gently, how to speak to them and guide them so that they didn't feel like they were imposing on me. That was an issue that a lot of them, I'm so sorry, I don't want to make you work. Are you kidding? I get paid for this? This is easy. But it's not that it actually was easy, but it's something I would say to put their hearts and their minds at ease, because I knew that I would spend about, anywhere from 2 to 20 minutes to 2 hours with somebody. Like, not like 2 hours, but sometimes some people needed a lot of help for eating and getting ready for bed and for this, and it wouldn't be consecutive, but I knew I had to pay attention to that person, or to give showers and brush their teeth and brush their hair, let them pick out their clothes and help guide them towards that. I was like, okay, well, they're gonna crank up the heat, it's pretty cold out tonight. Oh, it's snowing. No, it's just kind of frosty, but we're gonna pick out some warm jammies. How about these ones? I don't like those ones. And they're just like, okay, no problem. But see, I just tried to not just find anything off the shelf, but something that they'll actually be comfortable in that for that night. Once I leave the room, how many hours do they sit with themselves? I'm not gonna be there. I can't guarantee any other workers are going to dedicate as much time and thought into how they experience their life as I do. So I just try to put a lot into what I did at that time. But when I do that over and over and over and over, all day, every day, full time, like, it simply wore me out. As much as I wanted to help these people, I certainly wasn't helping myself, and it got to the point where I wasn't able to offer nearly as much because I was so taxed. I was already so tired. I was frustrated. I didn't have a life. I didn't have support. It was just way too much. So I'm like, well, how do I help people without hurting myself? Without getting sad, without coming into work and they're gone, went home or passed or anything like kind of heart-wrenching like that. How do I not, how do I help people without feeling concerned and worried for them all the time? It was too hard. But that's part of the self-respect. That's part of me learning to uncover layers of what I was going through and find out what I needed. learning to balance. Because, see, yeah, that's right. Learning to balance your fears is what I'm getting. Because, like I said before, it's not that the fears themselves are illogical. I had a fear of overworking myself because I got so burnt out. I literally hurt myself physically, mentally. I was so burnt out. I was just out of it, man. I wasn't myself. And I needed these things to protect me, but they was just out of balance. Of course I want to work, and of course I want to earn good enough money, but I made a compromise, like, say, on the money. A cashier job pays a lot less than a CNA. But I'm happy again. I sleep again. I get to talk to amazing customers, and some not so fun ones, but I know how to handle that, when with a smile. It doesn't last long. I love the good work environment that I found, and it's all due to finding the right balance, and it's being okay. Yeah, it's another one. Be okay with not being the best. Be okay with not taking the best option out there. Because it may seem like a downgrade, but really my life has gotten so much better. Like, it's literally upgraded. I feel like it cut losses. You know what I mean? And from here, I can learn to continue improving different areas of my life. Now that some things are sorted out, I can literally keep growing and keep going. And I feel like that's like what your advice is going to look like. It's still going to look. You have to be strategic. Not everybody's going to be on your side, but you do have support. Remember, law of duality. There's people out there who aren't for you, but there's people out there who are for you. And you're one of them. Except you get the choice to decide whether you are going to be for you or whether you are not going to be for you. You can choose to live your life for others. And that includes just getting by. That includes when they say, "Are you okay?" And, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm just tired." Instead of, actually saying, "I'm just going through a rough time. I don't want to talk about it, but I'm just kind of down." Even opening up just a little bit, because you're being honest, you're being true to yourself. You're doing that for you. Within reason. You can't tell everybody you're having a hard time, because if you're dealing with people like this, then you'll know. But you'll know. And you know what? You'll learn. There's plenty of people I had to learn the hard way. Can't trust them. Another one is slow down. Sometimes I got so excited at being able to open up again. I would open up, and I would open up fast and a lot. And instead of just kind of taking my time to let them know different deep personal things, kind of, I would just kind of see. I would wait for them to tell me stories about how they act for mothers, or have other people tell me different things about them, just different stuff. But yeah, this uncovering of your layers, this being okay with the idea that things can be different for you, that small spark of hope that you have, like a feeling. To me, it feels like a feeling. It's not a verbal idea. Something you could say, "I have an idea, and the idea is to do this or say this, and then things will be great." No, it's just, or "I want to be that, I want to be this, and now I have passion again in my life," which it's kind of like the easy I don't know, to me, I don't think that's easy, because what this is a feeling, almost like what you once had when you were a kid, or when you were happy. And when you have a lot of depression or fears or things that literally are not happiness, it can feel kind of confusing, very conflicting. It doesn't even feel like a feeling, it's just weird. I hope that makes sense to somebody. Like, if you know, you know what I mean? But what I recognize that as now is feelings of hope, feelings of joy. I like that. Feelings of peace or happiness, just general contentment. Those are good, healthy feelings. When those ones get bigger, they literally get better. And that's so freaking exciting. I am so happy for you guys. I really hope this reading helps some people out there. It makes me excited. I literally feel so excited after this reading. So, yeah, you guys have a good day.